what I wanted to talk about today are voicings. And, you know, when we talk about voicings, we're just talking about playing a chord, like say a C major 7, which is very basic, you know, guitar chord. If you know a C chord, all you do is you take away the first finger. So we could voice our C major 7 like that, where the notes are in order. That's the first note of the scale. We skip one, that's the third note. Skip one, that's the fifth note of the scale. And skip one more, and that's the seventh note of the scale. But I want to talk about 3 other ways to play those 4 notes. So one way would be to play your C major 7 like this. And people call this drop 2. Let's just leave it at that. Another way we could play the C major 7 is if we take this note up, this tenor voice it would be, I believe. Second note from the bottom goes up an octave. You could play your C major 7 like that. So it kind of looks like an E minor triad in second inversion with a C in the bass. But then what I really want to spend time on today is called a split voicing. And it's really pretty. So what we did here was, if we go back to this C major 7, which is called drop 2, this one's called drop 3, called other things, but let's just name them that. If we're on the drop 2 and we take the 7th, the alto voice up an octave, we get this big sound. It's called a split voicing. So we're playing strings 5 and 4, and then string 3, nothing happens on string 3. And we can do it on strings 1 and 2. And for me, this has brought up a lot of challenges in my right hand, and this is something I'm hoping to work on soon. So I'm going to play one note with my thumb, 5th string with my thumb, 4th string with my middle finger, and then my ring finger grabs the 2nd string and my pinky grabs the 1st string. The tricky part there is to spread the right hand out so that you miss that middle voice. So one thing that we can do is we can harmonize a major scale with 7th chords with split voicings. So let's take that C major 7 down to the lowest spot. We could play that, and that would be a B flat. So just for kicks, let's go through the scale a few different ways. Here's B flat. Here's a B flat major scale harmonized with split voicings. We could also call this the diatonic cycle of seconds. So I'm going to move up B flat major 7, and then that's a C minor 7, and then a D minor 7, E flat major, F7, G minor 7, A minor 7 flat 5, B flat major 7, and then we'll descend. Cool. It's a big stretch on my left hand too. It's kind of pianistic, you know, like you could imagine a piano player playing the root and the 5th power chord, you know, in the left hand, and then the 3rd and the 7th in the right hand, which is also a power chord, a 5th. That's kind of interesting. I haven't thought of this before. So 1, and then that's the interval of a 5th, That's the interval of a sixth, and then another fifth on top. So let's do the same thing a few different ways. Let's go back. We'll do the diatonic cycle of seconds or the B-flat harmonized major scale. This time, we'll do this drop 2 style. So the only difference between drop 2 and split is that the 7th went up an octave. So it gives you a wider range of sound. It spans the interval of almost 2 octaves, right? Because that would be the 2nd octave. Anyhow, drop 2 goes like this. So B flat major 7, C minor 7, D minor 7, E flat major 7, F7 or like that, G minor 7, A minor 7 flat 5, B flat major 7, B flat major 7, A minor 7 flat 5, G minor 7, F7, E flat major 7, D minor 7, C minor 7, B flat major 7. And then we could do it again using this drop 2 as our kind of our starting point. This time, instead of taking the 7th up an octave, we're going to take the 5th up. And this gets referred to as drop 3. These are cool because you can see a 2nd inversion triad up here on the higher strings under a bass note. So this is like a D minor, you know, with a B flat in the bass. And we call it a B flat major 7. So moving up, the C minor 7 is like an E flat triad, you know, like a D chord that got scooted up, and we put a C in the bass. D minor 7, so it's an F triad in 2nd inversion with a D in the bass. E flat major 7 is a G minor triad in 2nd inversion with an E flat in the bass. There's the F7, which is like an A diminished triad in 2nd inversion with an F in the bass. G minor 7 is like a B flat major triad in 2nd inversion with a G in the bass. And then A minor 7 flat 5 is like a C minor triad in 2nd inversion with an A in the bass. And then you go up, and there's your B flat major 7 again, D minor over B flat. So when I'm doing these, my pinky here kind of acts as my anchor point, my guide. So I'm just sliding that up each time. And I'll go back down. Cool. So if we take each one, start with this one here, drop 2, B flat major 7. Take the 5th up an octave, B flat major 7. Go back. Take the 7th up an octave, B flat major 7. So I would just like to acknowledge my teacher and mentor who's helped me with a lot of this stuff, and his name is Dale Bruning, great jazz guitar master. I encourage you to look into him, and he's shared a lot of these exercises with me, so just wanted to give credit where credit's due. So I'd be happy to talk more about this stuff, but maybe I can stop talking for a minute and just see how we're doing, guys.
We're doing good, Ian. we've got a couple questions if you want to.
Yeah, let's do
field
that.
a couple of those right now. All right, this first one is from Jeff Mackey, and he's wondering about if you have telly or if you have humbuckers on your telly.
Yeah. So this is an American vintage thin skin nitro telly, and
Ian, we're getting a lot of questions about the guitar, so maybe you could just kind of give a big overview.
Absolutely. So this is from Wildwood Guitars, awesome guitar shop here in Colorado. wildwoodguitars.com. This is a Fender, even though the logo here is off of the headstock. If you were here in person, I could tilt it. Oh, let's see, right there you can almost see the Fender where it used to be. Funny story about that, I spent many years in Dallas, Texas area, and I was working for a music theater company, and we would do a lot of late night shows. They did this show called Evil Dead, and where they would squirt fake blood on the audience, and fake blood got on my guitar. And as I was trying to clean it, the logo started coming off, and so I just got a little rubbing alcohol and it rubbed off. Anyhow, it's a Fender American Vintage Thin Skin Nitro. I bought this in 2008. Serial number LE00033, limited edition. It's the 33rd one that they made. Cool guitar. This is a 59 Seymour Duncan humbucker. This is all stock. I haven't done anything to this guitar other than I added a little whatever this thing is, a washer, sort of a felt washer on my strap pegs. The bridge pickup is I think they called it like a no-caster. I don't know, you'll have to go look it up. I think that there are still some of these out there. Still a little fake blood on the pickup too. But yeah, all stock. These strings are 11 gauge Diodario strings. Let's see, one other thing, if we're just really getting deep about this guitar, is that the E string, the high E tuning peg, one time had some problems with it. It broke. So that's a replacement tuning peg right there. Otherwise, yeah, all original. Really enjoy this guitar. And then I should acknowledge the effects that I'm using. There's a plate reverb on here. Here, I'll give you just the dry sound. So that's just the straight guitar sound. Oh, well, that actually has a clean boost on it. So here's the dry sound. And then here's the RC Booster by Exotic Effects. Have it set as a clean boost with a little bit of gain. I can add this is an analog with modulation model. I'm using a Line 6 M9. So this is, I think it's kind of modeled after that. What's that old school analog delay pedal, the big one? Memory Man. I think that's what this is modeled after. And as I adjust the expression pedal and get a more serious delay. And then I have a plate reverb on as well. So that's part of the sound as well. Awesome.
All right. Next question is from Janine, it looks like. And the question is there a sonic advantage to playing a hollow body over a solid body?
Gosh, probably in some ways. Although maybe there's a sonic advantage to playing a solid body over a hollow body too. Just depends on the context and what you're going for. I don't know. how to really answer that. I think they're both valid and they're different. The hollow body gives you a more of an acoustic sound, and if you get into that, you have semi-hollow bodies and full hollow body electric guitars. Semi-hollow being like an ES335, fully hollow being like a ES175. So different flavors for different situations. Something about this guitar has felt like home to me, so I like to play this one.
All right. Well, along those lines,
Yeah.
what do you think? This is from Gloria, by the way. Is there a difference between maple and rosewood fretboards, or is it just a personal preference?
I think there is a difference. And I'm not an expert about this stuff. I think that maple is a harder wood than rosewood, and maple has a stereotype for having a little brighter sound, cutting through the mix a little better. Especially like a telly is a really bright instrument anyway, and then with a maple neck, it's even brighter. So rosewood tends to be a little bit softer of a wood, I think, and characteristically has a warmer sound. So yeah, there's subtle differences, and maybe it does come down to personal preference. This is a maple neck, obviously. I have some rosewood. I think my 335 is a rosewood neck, fingerboard, although it might be ebony. I'm really not sure.
Okay. Next one is from Garland Baker. And Garland's wanted to know what kind of warm-up exercises you do before a gig.
Cool. Well, what I did when I got here to the studio this morning was, again, some things that Dale Bruning has shared with me. One of them is called finger gymnastics. So I'll start here at the 5th fret. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the first finger. I'm going to go 1 to 2, and I'm going to move my way down the strings, and then I'll go back. So this would be a good exercise to do with different, we could talk about varying the picking, but what I'm doing here is, as I'm going from string 1 to string 6, these are upstrokes with my pick on the first note, and hammer-ons on the second note. And then as I go down from string 6 to string 1, or up, depending on how you're thinking, I'll use downstrokes and hammer the second note. Okay, so now that we've got that clear, here's the deal. We're going to go from 1 to 2, and then from 1 to 3, and then from 1 to 4. So we're going to use all the options starting with the first finger, and then we're going to go to the second finger. We're going to go 2 to 3 and 2 to 4, and then we're going to go to the third finger, which only has one option, 3 to 4. And then we'll do the reverse of that. I'll talk about that in a second. So here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trying to keep my left hand kind of parallel. Trying not to get into this kind of thing, but rather like this. And then I'll go to my second finger. Second finger, and pinky this time. Kind of lost my tempo, I apologize. And then third finger. And then I can descend. sloppy now, just kind of trying to get through the exercise. I would, advise playing it with a metronome and doing it really slow and really intentionally. So that's a great exercise, finger gymnastics. There's another one that I like to do just for my right hand, again from Mr. Bruning. And this one I start on string 1 and I go down, up. And then I go to string 2 with an up, down. Back to 1, down, up, expanding. So string 3, 1 down, up, 4 up, down, 1 down, up, 5 up, down, 1 down, up, 6 up, down, and then I start contracting. Always with down, up on string 1 and up, down on all the others. So those are just 2 really great exercises of many. I'm super into the Segovia slur exercises and his chromatic octaves. I like to work on Oz-Noy octave displacement scales. Let's see if I remember that. It's been so long. That kind of thing. So it's like do, and then re is up an octave, mi is back down, fa and so are up, la and ti are down, and do is up. So instead of, you hear, pretty cool. Yeah, lots and lots and lots of technical exercises and warm-ups. Those are 2 of my favorites, though, that I shared with you from Dale Bruning.
Okay, next question here. What is your preferred type of pickup for this type of music? I'm assuming they mean that what you guys were playing earlier, what you're playing with Alex.
Gosh, I mean, I don't know. I hear people play, and I think, man, that guy sounds good. Some people use P90s. I love Strats. On this guitar, what I kind of dig about it is that in the middle position, I've got neck humbucker, bridge, single coil, and it almost has that Stratty, like position 2 or position 4 on a Strat. I can almost kind of do that here. Then the neck pickup is bigger and warmer, and if I roll some tone off the neck, almost do like a more jazzy sound. And then sometimes I'll go back to the bridge pickup, and that really will cut through, Doesn't sound so great because I'm not really going through an amp today, but yeah, so I don't know, man. I found this guitar and it felt good, so I'm going with it. Pickups, though, yeah, you could spend a lifetime changing pickups and trying different guitars and dialing it in, and I think I did spend a lot of time on that. And then in 2008, when I bought this, I was like, well, maybe I should just learn how to play, let it come from my fingers. And so I've been making this work. I'm sure there's room for improvement. Cool question, though, about pickups. Pups,
yes. All right, this one is from Henry, and Henry wants to know, what does drop 2 or drop 3 stand for?
Okay, this is a complicated explanation, and I'll try to simplify, but the way they teach it, like at Berklee College of Music or University of North Texas, where I went, is they say that you start with I think they call this close or closed. So this is root, third, fifth, seventh. So the deal with the drop 2 is you're taking the second voice from the top. So if this is bass, tenor, alto, soprano, you're taking the alto voice down an octave. So the G, instead of playing C, E, G, B, we want to skip that G and play G, C, E, and then the B on top. But instead of playing the second string open, we'll make it like this. So what's counterintuitive about this is that you go from a root position closed voicing, and when you drop the 2, you end up with a second inversion, drop 2. So that's a little, I remember when I was working on this, that confused me. Because you go from a root position to a second inversion. But that's what they're talking about. Or if you take the third note from the bottom, let's see, can I do that? I'll do it up here. C, E, G, B instead of C, E, G, B. If you take the third note and drop it an octave, so that's going to be E, C, G, B. But that's stupid, you know. Or it's cool, but that's kind of hard to play, is what I'm trying to say. So I can play that voicing like this. So here, a root position closed voicing, drop the third note from the top, the tenor voice. You get a first inversion, drop 3. So that's what we're talking about here. We could go deeper into that, and I could maybe make some visual aids on the staff that could help you see that G note in the drop 2 getting taken down an octave, or the E note getting taken down an octave. So there's your, I don't know, what's the phrase? That's a simple answer-ish.